Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre. In this video, I will show you how to make these cute little woven bicone mini hoop earrings. And so what you're going to need for supplies are, let's see if I got it there, you can do a snapshot of that. You're going to need 22 4mm bicones. Of course, you could replace those with gemstone round beads as well, like 4mm. They need to be 4mm. Two 15-inch pieces of 20 gauge dead soft wire. And again, I forgot to put in that it's 0.81 millimeters. 15 inches in length, which is approximately 37 centimeters. For tools, you'll need a chain nose plier, flush cutters, round pencil or pen, just to make the earrings round, a ruler for if you have to measure your wire, and a metal, I'm using a metal file, but you could use a nail file or whatever it is that you have just to round out the ends. That's what it's being used for, is just so that the ear wires do not cut your ears as they go in. Very important. Okay, and so we might as well get started. Okay, so I want you to start by taking one of your 20 gauge wires and find the middle and put your first bicone on. And I'm going to start by putting it on the bottom, because it's just easier working this direction for me because I'm right-handed. And then I'm going to wrap a circle around it like that. And we're going to put the wire, see, there's the end where I bent. We're going to cover it like that. And the fact that it sticks out a little bit, that's okay. But basically, that's where we started the bead, and then I just wrapped around like that. Now, the next bead, that first bead was on the bottom wire. Now, the next bead's going to go on the top wire. So when I'm calling this woven bicones, it's just a loose term because we're going back and forth and wrapping around. It's not actual weaving per se, but I didn't know how else to describe it, so I just said woven bicones. And we want them fairly close together, as close as we can get them. So like that. So now, and see, because we're alternating, this is kind of a technical thing of weaving, because we're alternating and going up and down. It's kind of weaving like, so we're alternating them, and one of them is going on top of them, each other. We're kind of, it's going to lock, it's locking it in place when we do that. So this time, this bead goes on the bottom wire, and then the next one will be on the top wire. So now this one is the top wire now, but I'm making this one the top wire and wrapping around. I thought of calling this braiding too, but it's, I don't know. So we're going to continue with that process till you have 11 beads done. So that one was on the bottom wire. The next one's going on the top wire. So I'm just going to do this last one on screen, and then I'll finish it up and come back. Okay, so I want you to do the same and finish yours up. We just want to do 11 beads. Okay, so I have the 11 beads woven, and I've given plenty of room to finish it off, maybe too much room, but it's good to have too much than too little. And so the next thing we're going to do is, because this wire is on top, so whatever wire's on top, depending on how you started it, you take the bottom wire and wrap around it to secure it. And we want it in the center, so that's key. And wrap it so it looks like it's got 3 wraps. And then I want you to measure this wire, and 3/4 of an inch. I'll have metric in the written description. Actually, no, I will measure it now for you, actually. So first I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll measure it in metric. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch is there. Snip it off. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so I've got a little bit long. I'm going to snip it off just a little bit more, because both earrings you want the exact same. You do want them to be exact. Now I'm going to measure it in metric. Oh wow, look at that. It's 2 centimeters is a good measurement for you to go with. Okay, so next we're going to make a spiral going towards whichever way you ended up being, going down. Because if your wire's on the other side, then you'll just go down this way. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I start my spirals with a loop like that, and then I crimp it back and down to try and make a tight closed, I call it a bud. And then you use that as your base for wrapping around. It's always hard to get it going at first, but then once you get it going, it goes much smoother. And there. Now we want that to look centered, and sometimes the optical illusion of these two being diagonal makes it difficult. So you've got this one centered, then just go by that. It just makes it easier. So now the next thing I want you to do is we're going to bend this wire this way, because this is going to that be in our way. No, we're not going to do that yet. We'll leave that. What we're going to do is take your pencil, and we're going to wrap this around a pencil like that. It's a little bit tight, a little bit bigger than the pencil, but that's okay. You can we're just getting it to be round, and then afterwards we will spread it out a little bit. And now I want to bend this upwards, so it's going to have that look where it's straight and then comes forward. So like that, and you can open that up a little bit, and then when you have your two together, then you just make it so that they're similar in shape. The pencil is just to get the roundness. After that, you just do it by feel the way you want it to be, because being that so many wires and stuff. It's pretty springy and it's pretty resilient, and it can take it. And you also need to make sure that you pushed out all the circles. And if it opens up too much on you, then you just take the pencil again and curl it up and make them match. So then the next step, we're going to take your chain nose pliers, and we're only going to have a ½ inch long, which is just a little bit more than 1 centimeter. So those doing metric, do it about 12 millimeters, but we're going to go, just for reference sake, let's cut this wire to be 1 inch long right now, just because we're going to be work hardening it, and if you do it too far from the end, it won't work harden as well. So now I want you to take your chain nose pliers and twist around like this, and let go and twist around 25 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, and 25. Feels pretty firm. Might do it a couple more times. Let's make it 30. Okay. So the reason why I twisted longer than what we need is because we're going to, the end here won't be work hardened, and we want it to be work hardened. And the next step is to bend this. And if your wire is crooked, mine's not, but if yours is, then you just straighten it like this, and that work hardens it as well, so it's not going to hurt it. Then I want you to measure it. We're going to do ½ inch long. And if you want it to be a little shorter than that, go ahead. That's personal preference. You could do it once 12 millimeters, 1 centimeter. Oh, I get it. I did it too long. Longer than you want them to be the same. And now you need to take your file of choice. I'm using a metal file. And you need to round out that end so it's not going to scratch the ear as it goes in. And you continue to do that until it looks right. And then I use rubber stoppers when I sell my ear wires or my earrings. And so you would just put a pair of rubber stoppers, you know, earring backs that are the rubber ones. And there they are. Aren't they pretty? I think they're rather cute. Okay, well, thank you for joining me in this video. I wanted to mention for helping me with my channel, you can hit the subscribe button, but I also have a join button, which is a paid membership. And when you join the different memberships, you get different options that the first one being the tips and tutorial videos. And the second one is having access to my entire collection. Basically, it's the tips, tutorials, and the retired videos. It's called retired videos, I believe. And that would really help out my channel to thrive. And I would appreciate anybody that can take that enjoys my tutorials enough to support me that way. I really would appreciate it. And thank you for joining me in this video. God bless, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.